following some breaking news. A magnitude 8.7 earthquake off the east coast of Russia is leading to tsunami concerns here in the U.S. The Aleutian Islands in Alaska are under a tsunami advisory, while Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, and other parts of Alaska are under a tsunami watch. All right, let's take a live look now at Kushiro, Japan. And according to Reuters, tsunami waves reaching 1 to 3 meters above the tide level are possible along some coasts of Guam, Hawaii, and Japan. Now, this is all based on information from the U.S. Tsunami Warning System. So I want to bring in Paul Heggen because, Paul, you know, we've unfortunately covered tsunami watches, warnings before, and language is important. There's a difference between a watch, a warning, and advisory, and obviously an alert.
And this is still something that's in flux. They're still calculating the most likely magnitude of the waves that would reach the west coast of the United States because that's kind of farthest down the chain. They've got several hours to worry about that. It wouldn't hit the west coast until around midnight Pacific time. But before that, we have to worry about Alaska, we have to worry about Hawaii, we have to worry about the other locations in the Pacific. So let's take a look at the big picture perspective here. Look at North America first, just so you can get your geographic bearings. We're first going to zoom to the site of that earthquake off the coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula. This is the east coast of Russia. An underwater earthquake, and that promotes those tsunami waves to spread out from the epicenter of that 8.7 earthquake. So Alaska has tsunami warnings and watches in effect along the Aleutian Islands and then towards the mainland of Alaska as well. These are some of the first places that are going to be seeing those higher than normal waves, higher than the tide line, and that's what we worry about with those larger waves pushing the water further and further inland than what residents are used to. Hawaii also under a tsunami watch, expecting for the northwestern end of the Hawaiian island chain the potential for the waves to be more than 3 meters. That's almost 10 feet taller than normal once the waves make their way to the big island of Hawaii and some of the more densely populated islands, Maui and Oahu. The waves more likely to be in the 1 to 2 meter range, but that's also still subject to recalculation as more data comes in. Likely between about 6 and 7 o'clock Hawaiian time for those waves to reach the northwestern tip of the Hawaiian island chain, closer to about 8 o'clock Hawaiian time for it to reach the big island. That is in a few hours. So right now it is 2:43 Hawaiian island time. And then after that, the waves are going to make their way towards the west coast. So we have tsunami watches in effect from the Pacific Northwest down to the entire coast of California, not likely to reach the San Francisco Bay Area until after midnight Pacific time, not till after 1 a.m. around the Los Angeles area. So still several hours away, and we will continue reevaluating that data as the waves make their way across the Pacific and we get some observations in terms of how big the waves actually are. On the mainland, what we're talking about is still heat that is a major problem for much of the country. So much of the eastern two-thirds of the country either under heat advisories in orange or excessive heat warnings in pink. And tomorrow is going to be another dangerously hot day. The feels-like temperature, once you factor in the heat and the humidity together, reaching up into triple-digit territory all the way from Oklahoma City and Dallas all the way to New York and Washington, D.C., and then all the way south to Atlanta, Charlotte, and Tampa. So dangerously hot conditions are going to continue. But if we return to the map behind me one more time here, we are going to see things gradually improving as we head through the rest of the week. The excessive heat risk is going to be in the high to very high category tomorrow. But as we head through the rest of the week, Wednesday gets a little bit better. Gets a little bit better than that on Thursday, and it continues to retreat as we hit the end of the work week on Friday. At that point, the dangerous heat is really going to be confined to the far southeastern U.S. and the immediate Gulf Coast. But in the meantime, heat is one of those things that is additive. It's cumulative. It wears you down the longer that it's in place, and it's been in place for a while for so much of the eastern U.S.
Yeah, we've seen how deadly it can be if you don't prepare and take care of yourself. All right, Paul, thank you.